And I believe you were married before as well.
Yeah.
And you don't speak about it that much.
No, I
you
don't. No.
And that was also an industry. He was from the industry.
Sort of more behind the camera than in front.
Yeah. And how do you think you've evolved? Like, and do you mind opening up about that time of your life?
I mean, I think a lot of people end up feeling that, if they have one marriage and it doesn't work out, they end up feeling, कि शादी ही, एक वो लड्डू जो खाए और पछताए ना खाए, वो पछताए वाली चीज होती है.
यही है, वो खा के पछता रहे हैं, ना खा के पछता रहे हैं, सब पछता ही रहे हैं.
नहीं, but I believe it's really about the two people who are in it. Marriage is एक blanket statement नहीं दे सकते कि शादी ऐसी है या शादी वैसी है. It's really just about what you make of it and the two people who are in it.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it's different. It's not the same. So I can't really compare.
Comparison ho nahi sakta, because I think in that phase of your life you're a very different person and today you're a very different person. That relationship probably
the relationships are very different because the two people in it are very different. So it can't be compared.
It can't be compared.
Yeah.
But do you think that how do you think you've evolved
as a person?
And also because I think कि हमारी society के अंदर अभी भी, I mean, even though now in our society, it's in the mass not so much, but in our society people have the courage to walk out. Like women have more stability and surety like to take that step to walk out and be okay with it. I do want you to talk a little bit about what was that time like for you, that trauma of actually going through a divorce, because it's not easy regardless of whether it's a short-term marriage or long-term marriage. It is आपकी society में हम एक paradigm shift ला रहे हैं ना. Our previous generations weren't so वो compromise करते करते वो जिंदगी गुजार गए. लेकिन now people are raised differently. People are have different points of view in a marriage as well. So I want you to tell me a little bit, and I think it might be a learning experience for everybody, that divorce is not bad. It should not be stigmatized. No. You should walk out when and if need be.
No, I mean, it's definitely a last resort though. मतलब मैं यही कहूँगी कि it's not one of those things कि I think sometimes people go into marriage with not a very clear idea of who they're marrying sometimes, and sometimes it's कि आपको external pressure इतना होता है that you feel कि बस कर लेनी चाहिए, and you're not exactly looking at कि हम दोनों are we two people who are going to be able to create an entire life, because आप शादी इसीलिए करते हो quite frankly कि आप अपनी पूरी जिंदगी गुजारे. Nobody gets married to leave or to not for it to not work out. But frankly, if that happens, because usually I got married quite young, तो हमारे यहाँ यही होता है कि हमारी पूरी personality form नहीं होती है, and we go into a situation, and because our personality is not completely formed, we are not very perceptive कि आगे का इंसान कैसा है. मेरी खुद की personality भी अभी पूरी develop नहीं हुई. What kind do our values match? But if that happens, that there's just pain after pain after pain, so then definitely I think that you should take a chance at having a better life, not just for yourself, but the person that you're with also, that they should have a chance at having something different in their life, something that makes them happy.
नहीं, शादी भी सोच के करनी चाहिए. I think शादी सबसे ज़्यादा सोच के करनी चाहिए. Divorce तो बात की बात है. लोग सोचे बगैर शादी कर लेते हैं.
और सबसे ज़्यादा जो मैं feel करती हूँ, that I feel that I have learnt is that you don't just marry a man, you marry a family. So and maybe this is ये बड़ी देसी बात है कहने की,
बहुत देसी बात है.
Hey, it is the way it is, that you are leaving your house to enter somebody else's.
Of course, no, I do, and I think like to your statement कि that you're marrying the family, I think I would like to add that इसका थोड़ा narrative change करने की ज़रूरत है कि yes, आप अपना घर छोड़ के जा रहे हो, but you are the one who आपकी जिंदगी change हो रही है. जो आगे के वहाँ पे like मैं तो दरिंदे कहूँगी कि जितने in-laws खराब मैंने देख चुकी हूँ लोगों के, और जो आप स्टोरी सुन लेते हैं, they need to be the ones who have to be very flexible. But you are making space, you have to make space for somebody to enter.
Not, like मुझे लगता है कि you're either that kind of person who does do that or you're not. अगर आप उस किस्म के लोग हैं कि आप इस बात की consideration रखते हैं कि there's somebody who's leaving their house and this is a completely different person, and let's be open. I feel like both me and my husband, we've grown, because I have brought things into his life that maybe he wasn't expecting, but he was open to it. The changes, like he's never had a pet in his life, now we have 2 cats. And shuru mein when
I know you and your cats. Like I remember I was doing a live session और पीछे से मंशा की बिल्लियाँ आ जा, कभी वो गोदी में आ रही हैं, कभी वो भाग रही हैं.
It initially started off when we got engaged कि घर में animals नहीं आएंगे, और अब वो ही जो है ना सुबह सुबह उठ के सबसे पहले वो उनका खाना, उनका पानी, you know.
And I really do believe कि Anna, when you get married आप अपना independent setup रखें, like it should be independent. You should not be like कहीं किसी जगह पे नहीं लिखा हुआ कि आपने अपने in-laws के साथ रहना है, आपने इधर रहना है, उधर रहना है. You know, I really do believe that you should have, if you can afford it.
But Momina, even if, quite frankly, because I've experienced both, I've experienced living separately and living with family. So I will say कि एक तो the guy that you marry, that really matters. What kind of person he is. That's the kind of person he is, and the kind of relationships he keeps. You know, like हमने कभी माशाल्लाह से, you know, I feel like I should touch it.
I'll do it for you.
You know, it's
अगर ना लकड़ में तो सर पे मार लिया करो.